Sit down, relax, get comfortable because you're in for a doozy with this one. What I'm about to do in this video series is deliver to you one of the most advanced Facebook ads courses there is, completely for free. I'm going to break down everything we have done as an agency on the paid ad side to generate our clients results like this, specifically using ads. So if you're new here, you don't know who I am, my name is Nick Roddice. I own Greyhound, which is an email marketing agency specifically working with e-commerce businesses and information product businesses. We help those businesses turn email into consistent monthly revenue. Real quick, why am I doing this? Well, like I've just said, I own an email marketing agency. As a byproduct of you running ads for your business, you're going to generate a lot of emails, whether that's from customers or leads, and it's within your best interest to turn those emails into actual predictable monthly revenue. For every dollar invested in email marketing, the return of that is $36, which is a 36x return on investment with email marketing. So maybe after you watch these videos, you think to yourself, I'm running these ads are scaling and working, I'm getting a lot of email addresses, I actually want to turn those emails into actual revenue. But this is going to be a 7-part series. Here are all the videos coming up. You should subscribe so you don't miss those. Subscribe and click the notification bell. Now this first video is the most important video because this is the one that everybody messes up the most. So let's just dive right into it, because if you get this, everything after this becomes so much more easier. All right. So before we really carry on with the nitty-gritty of this training, what I want to do is establish some common ground with you first. So ultimately, for you to really achieve anything from what you're about to watch and the time you're about to invest in these trainings and our time together, you're going to need to be able to hold yourself accountable to not only what it is that you're watching and understanding, but your ability to execute on what it is you're about to learn. Otherwise, what's the point? And you need transparency because you need to understand and accept that you are where you are, and where you are right now is you are here. Metaphorically speaking, on this scale, you are here at this point where you don't want to be. Case in point, because you're here right now watching this presentation. You're not here for fun and frolics on a Friday night because there's simply nothing to watch on Netflix. You're not here either because you love the sight of my face or even the sound of my voice. You're here for a reason. And that reason may be anything. Maybe you or your business is in a position of low sales, low leads. Maybe you have these feast and famine revenue cycles in your business where one month you're crushing it, you've got stock and product flying off the shelves, and you've got people just throwing money at you, hiring you to be their consultant, whatever it is that you sell, whether it's B2C, B2B, whatever it may be. Then the month after, there's just nothing. It's crickets. You barely have enough money to fulfill fulfillment as well as pay staff and for you yourself to take home a salary for that month. Maybe as well, like when you look at all the hours you put in a week by week basis, you found out that you're actually doing longer hours than you would do in a full-time job, but earning far less for the amount of hours you're putting in. And life at this point just kind of feels like business leftovers where, you're up at 5 a.m. and you're working till 9 p.m., 10 p.m. You see your partner for 30 minutes here or there before bedtime. Then you go to sleep, wake up, do the same thing day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, right? Maybe that is exactly where you are in your business. And again, you need to be transparent to that. You need to accept where you are is where you are, and where you want to be is on the other side, which is ultimately in a position where you have more security in your business, right? You've got guaranteed monthly revenue, and that's not just security for yourself where you can extract a salary and a wage from your business, but security to pay your own staff, to provide opportunity for other people, to provide for their families. You have the security not only for yourself, but for those who work under your umbrella and under your guidance. It allows you to have the security of having more money because, business is a fantastic vehicle for you to fulfill those things that you've always wanted to do, whether that is travel, see the world, chase passion projects and give to charities, for instance. And again, it allows you to have more freedom, to be able to just unplug from your business at any point and just go and chill out on a beach in Tahiti and then come back and things are still as if you never left it. Maybe freedom to you is just something as simple as being able to walk into a restaurant and not worry about how much something costs. You can just pay for it and then leave. and maybe freedom is just to be able to have more time with your family, or to position yourself as the needle mover in your business, where you are no longer working in your business as part of the service delivery or customer support, for instance, but you can work on your business to do the chess moves that's going to make sure that you are around for the next 5-10 years than the next 5-10 months. And for you at this point in time, it might feel like for you to achieve this grandiose goal that you're aiming for, this imaginary brass ring at times, it might feel like there's a whole mountain to climb, or there's a huge divide between where you are now and where you want to be. And I do appreciate that it feels like that, but the reality is you are literally just 5 steps away from getting to where you want to go. And those 5 steps are, quite simply put, your offer, your traffic, your strategy, as well as your optimization and your ability to scale. And we're going to be focusing on the first 3 as part of this training, which is essentially going to be your offer, your traffic, your strategy, as well as the customer acquisition in and of itself. So I'm just going to go back to this slide for a second here, just to kind of show you as to why we're talking about the offer first. And the reason we're here is because, like I've so beautifully illustrated here, it is the biggest domino you need to push in your business. And I don't say that lightly. 80% of your business is your offer. Your offer is literally somebody's first and last impression of who you are as a business. That's how strong and powerful your offer is. If you just give somebody a milquetoast, I call them Me Too offers. And by Me Too, I basically mean, hey, look, I'm here as well. I'm just happy to participate. Those type of offers. If you just present one of those, you're never really going to win the race for a customer. You're just not. It's like entering an F1 race against Lewis Hamilton, who is in this finely tuned F1 McLaren car that does 300 miles an hour, and you're trying to beat him in like a go-kart or a Fiat 500. That's just not going to cut it. Now, no amount of money you spend on ads or marketing is going to change the fact that you just aren't geared up to take part in this race that you're wanting to be in. And that's why having a compelling offer is so important, because the moment you push this over and you hit a home run with it and knock it out the park, everything else just becomes so much more simpler. Your traffic strategy, or your traffic and your strategy, I should say anyway, doesn't need to be perfect. All you need to do for traffic, for instance, is just plug new traffic sources into your offer, because your offer converts. So instead of you using Facebook, you use Google, and then you also add YouTube as well as TikTok and maybe Pinterest or Snapchat, for instance. Like, just go hog wild crazy. You've got something which works. Your strategy doesn't need to be anything like nuclear. It doesn't need to be rocket surgery. It could just be something as simple as hit these people with this offer. If they don't accept that one, hit them with this discount here, and then collect the cash bottom of funnel with like a retargeting catalog. That's all it needs to be. You don't need to have these big elaborate strategies where, okay, if they watch 25% of this video, they're going to get served this ad. And if they click on this ad to that link, they'll get served this ad. And then this ad will send them to this page. Like, it doesn't need to be like that. If you have a strong, compelling offer, one that can stand up with its chest out nice and proud, shoulders back, and stand on its own, and that just oozes confidence and charisma, you don't need anything that elaborate. You just need to tell people, here's what I got, here's what it'll do for you. It's an offer you'd be stupid to say no to. Go buy my stuff. That's literally all you need to do as part of your marketing. That's how powerful it is as a domino to push in your business, because everything else just becomes so much more simpler. Optimization, scaling just becomes turning off that ad because it's got a ROAS of 0.5 instead of like 1.5, for instance, so that one can go. And then scaling is just a case of going, okay, cool, this ad works. Let's add this to different ad sets and audiences, and let's up the ad budget. That's it. It doesn't need to be anything spectacular or miraculous. But where we're going to be focusing, like I said, is customer acquisition, because if you are here where you do have these low sales, low leads, and these feast and famine revenue cycles, that itself is a symptom of the core problem, which is customer acquisition. And to start to acquire customers, not only just in general, but at wild scale, the moment you start to do £10,000, £20,000 a day or $20,000 a day on ad spend, you need to have an offer that stands with the rest of them. So that's why we're going to be spending a lot of time this first video talking about how to make offers so freaking good people feel stupid saying no. Or in the Fry meme case here, like I've got at the back, how to make offers so freaking good, people say, shut up and take my money. So I hope I've established just how important it is to start with the offer. And I want to start off this training by just reiterating that point again. And, you know, I'd suggest you get like tequila out at this point, because the amount of times I'm going to say to you, it's your offer, or your offer's so important, is unreal. Like, you'll be hammered by the end of this training. But I like to start this conversation off with this quote by Dan Kennedy, because it's a quote that I just love so intensely. Like, this quote to me just, it's like one of my other favorite quotes is by Henry Ford, and he says, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. This for me is right up there in a sense of, it just cuts like a lightsaber. It cuts like a lightsaber through whatever excuse, whatever BS you've got in your head as to why you're not successful, or why your business isn't successful, why your ad isn't successful. Oh, it's the agency. Oh, it's this media buyer. Oh, it's the market. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. It cuts straight through that and goes, look, it's your offer. It's saying, look, whatever you think the issue is, that could be it, but 90% of the time, it's the offer you're presenting to your market. Just make it better. That's literally all this is. And that's why it's important here. That's why I want to spend a lot of time talking about this, because the reality is, before we really even talk about advanced traffic strategies, you know, how to get leads, you know, sales and underground secret ninja media buying tactics and rules and Google automations and all of that stuff, none of it's relevant, and none of it will serve you at all unless you have the ability to initiate a transaction with the customer. And that is making them an offer they'd be stupid saying no to. If you can't do that, no amount of marketing budget is going to help you get more customers. No amount of automations, email automations, SOPs, friggin' Facebook ad hacks, growth strategy is going to save you from that. You just don't have something the market wants, or you're not packaging it up to articulate its value. And one thing I want you to kind of remember here is, now I don't like fishing. I'm not a fishing fan, but the analogy I like to give for this is, remember, in order for you to catch fish, you need bait, or in this case, you need an offer. When you go fishing, now I used to go fishing with my old man, like when I was younger, like just because I never really saw him as a kid growing up. So at the weekend, when he'd go fishing, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll come with you. Like we get up at like friggin' 4 o'clock in the morning, man, just to go and sit for 7 hours by a lake and not catch anything. Honestly, it sucked, but I got to spend time with my dad, which was cool. But in order for you to catch fish, right, you need the right bait. You're not just going to throw a hook in the water and just see what comes. You're going to go, okay, cool. I want to catch carp, or I want to catch, you know, like, well, I don't know any other type of fish, to be honest. but you're going to say to yourself, okay, right, I'm going to use sweet corn. I'm going to use ham or spam. I'm going to use a big fat juicy worm to catch these fish. You're just not going to throw your hook in there just to participate in the sport of which you are in, right? You're going to make sure you've actually got something the fish actually wants. Marketing and business is the exact same. When you're fishing to catch a fish, you are presenting an offer to that fish to encourage that fish to bite. It's then the job of your process, or you yourself, to reel that fish in and then convert that fish into like a tasty dinner, for instance. Although I probably wouldn't recommend you go fishing in a pond and cooking it, right? You don't know what's been in there, so don't go and do that. But you get the point. You can't catch a customer if you don't have the right bait. If you're just participating, you're just going to fail. Entrepreneurship isn't a participation sport. I know you might have done like sports days, or some of you might have seen sports days. Maybe you've got kids who've been part of these sports days where, for instance, when you finish in 9th place, you still get a medal. That's not how business works. Business is an unforgiving race. The prize for being in last place is being bankrupt. It's as simple as that. It's being out of business. It's being depressed, which isn't where any of us want to be, which is why this is so important. And this is something I love to say to clients. Like, honestly, it's one of my favorite things to say in client calls when I'm onboarding them, like to do their email marketing and just in general. You could literally have a Mount Rushmore of greats. I genuinely mean like a Mount Rushmore of greats. Like, you pick who you want, right? Pick like David Ogilvy, Albert Lasker, Claude Hopkins, whoever it may be, Gary Halbert, Eugene Schwartz. You could literally have this football team, like this 11-man squad of the greatest marketers who have ever graced the earth. And Jordan Belfort, as your head of sales, sat there ready for that phone to ring to close them. But if what you offered to the market was a chocolate teapot or waterproof tea bags, you're not going to win. You're not going to convert anybody. It's just a waste of your time and your money. You're not going to convert anybody because you're trying to sell ice to Eskimos, AKA you're selling something nobody wants. You're trying to convert a market and an offer or a product which just doesn't make any sense, or one that's just not articulated well. Like I said, most people are in the business of selling ice to Eskimos, when the reality is they should be selling those Eskimos heaters. They should be selling them warmer clothing, something to help them battle the circumpolar regions they call home, something to make their time easier out there, make their jobs quicker, help to get them warmer, maybe like better housing, better insulation for their homes, for instance. That's what people should be selling. But what a lot of people do is they come to market with these milquetoast Me Too offers, which is essentially like trying to sell wedding dresses to men or ice to Eskimos, and then they scratch their head wondering, I've thrown $2,000, $5,000 or pounds behind this ad campaign, yet nobody or 2 or 3 people's only bought. It must be my agency. Nope, wrong. It's your offer, stupid, as Dan Kennedy would say. And like I've said just now, if your offer isn't compelling, audacious, or even unique, you're just going to be another brand. You're just going to be like another consultant, another personal trainer, another nutritionist, another skincare brand. And the reality is, when on paper, all you can compete on is price, the lowest will always win. Because they have the cheaper price, because you're competing on price, you're not competing on value, which is where the shift needs to be. You want to compete with your competitors on value, not price. So let's look at the 2 biggest problems for entrepreneurs and also how to solve them, because having a big, hairy, and audacious offer ties beautifully into this. So every problem for an entrepreneur, for you right now, for instance, typically stems from 2 big problems, which is not enough customers and not enough cash. Case in point, because like I said, if you're in a position of low leads, low sales, feast and famine revenue cycles, you clearly have either not enough customers or not enough cash. Now, what happens here is it costs you time and money to get those customers, which will solve problem 1 because you're getting more customers. But that money that you're using to acquire those customers comes from the profit margins, which creates problem 2, where you don't have enough cash to acquire more customers, therefore creating this perpetual cycle. This means, for instance, that your biggest bottleneck in your business is customer acquisition. Having a big, hairy, and audacious offer solves both of those problems. It solves the customer acquisition problem in your business. It solves you not having enough customers and not having enough cash because you are converting people like crazy. You're marketing in a vacuum. You're bringing people into your business like a black hole on steroids, and they're just throwing money at you. The reason why this is so important is because, again, it's a starting point of any conversation which you have with a customer to initiate that transaction. No customer, unfortunately, and I wish they would do this, but that's just not how business goes. No customer is going to look at you and just give you money and expect nothing in return. Nobody's going to do that. There has to be something in exchange for that. That's what the offer is. This is where it all begins, because nobody's going to do that. So you have to have something to facilitate the exchange of, I have this, will you give me that for this? That question never gets fulfilled until an offer is made, because everything in your business succeeds or dies based off of the offer you are bringing and presenting to the marketplace. Again, a lot of people just have Me Too offers. I don't know if you're a Rick and Morty fan, but there's an episode of Rick and Morty with these like blue little, like, they look like weird Smurfs anyway. They're called Mr. Meeseeks. And whenever Rick presses this box, this blue guy comes out called Mr. Meeseeks. He goes, I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me. That's all what most people are doing out there with business. They're basically going, hi, I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me. I charge £25 an hour for personal training. Oh, hey, I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me. I also charge £25 for personal training. And then what does that do to your prospect? They go, well, you're both the same. You're both promising me the same result. Who's going to go cheaper? Oh, hi, I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. I'm a PT and I charge £15 an hour. Sold. I'll go to you. Because that's how it works when you're competing on price. And I said this before, if your ads aren't converting well and you have a problem scaling your business, then the offer you're presenting to the market is usually that problem. So if your business at this point in time is only bringing in maybe £50 here or there, £100 here or there, a couple of hundred or a couple of $1,000s a month, even though you're investing a lot of time into your business, tweak your offer, make it more compelling. Give somebody a 40% off, add cross sells and upsells. Do those things and you'll see your business dramatically change overnight just from making a big, hairy and audacious offer to your marketplace. Having a big, hairy and audacious offer, it removes the biggest bottleneck in your business, which is customer acquisition and cash flow. What this means is your margins are protected because you're consistently and rapidly bringing in more and more customers. Therefore, marketing budgets disappear because you don't need to worry about that stuff. You can just spend more money to make more money. It makes your business a lot more fun to be in because you essentially get paid to acquire customers. And I want you to think about this for a second, right? Because this always reminds me of Russell Brunson when he says you're only one funnel away. I call BS to that. You are always only one offer away from dramatically seeing different results in your business. It's that simple. Because the reality is, having a big, hairy, and audacious offer, it increases the response rate of your ads and the amount of people who respond to your business. If you put two businesses, again, like let's say for instance, two PTs, I'm saying PTs, I'm not assuming you are a personal trainer, I'm just using this as an example because it's so easy to understand. You could have two PTs paying £1,000 each or $1,000 each for ads for the same amount of impressions. But if one of them has a better articulated offer than the other one, they're going to get more responses. They're going to have more of those responses buy, and those responses are going to fork out £1,500, £2,000, $2,000 for their services. They're going to pay that because, again, you're marketing in a vacuum. Because if you can get paid to acquire customers, your marketing budgets disappear. You no longer have that headache about customer or client acquisition because you're now focused on just scaling the operational and the deliverable side of your business. You're then allowed to focus on moving the needle operationally and on the infrastructure of your business. You no longer need to worry about where's my next customer coming from? Where's my next cash injection coming from? You can just focus on what do I need to make sure that my business is here for the next 5, 10, 15 years. That's what having a big, hairy, and audacious offer does. It allows you to step back and focus on the direction you want to take your business. So you're no longer working in it, you're now working on it. That's how powerful it is. Because the reality is you flip the game on its head. You're no longer competing on price now with your competitors. You're competing on value. You can articulate the value you bring to your customer far better than what your competitor can. If your competitor is just there like, hey, look, pay us £25 an hour or pay us $25 for this, but you go, hey, look, I've got the exact same as them, but you get A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I as part of that deal, and it's going to cost you $500, they're going to be more magnetized to the one they get better value for because they get more bang for their buck. Customers then have a choice between either you or staying where they are in pain, staying the same. Because why would I pay peanuts and get monkeys for $25 when I can just pay $500 for this thing and get all of that? Do you see where I'm coming from? That's how important it is to have a big, hairy, and audacious offer that just fights on value rather than price. So let me give you an example of what I mean. Who would you buy from? Okay, who would you buy from? Person A, which is offering 12-week personal training packages for $500. Not bad. Most PTs offer that. Or person B, who's offering the exact same, but for $1,500. As part of their service, you get free ebooks on weight loss and muscle gain. You get a free 30-day hormone balancing diet plan. You get free grocery shopping list planning and help. You also get a free biohacking guide, a free 30-day reverse dieting guide, a free women's guide to training with endometriosis, PCOS, and fibrosis, as well as a free VIP trip to Bali, all paid for, all inclusive, for a total of $2,312. But you can pay $1,500 and get the whole thing. And if you don't get your dream results, I'll even give you your money back. Who are you going to go to? It's going to be person B, right? You are getting more bang for your buck. You don't mind paying 1,500 quid for that because of the amount of value you get in exchange. That's the game here. That's the key difference. This person here, brand A, person A, is competing on price. They're saying, hey, look, I'll do that for $500. They will get you the same result. But because you get more value here, you get all of this stuff and you've got this guarantee here at the end, which is if you don't get those results, I'll even give you your money back. It's a win-win. It's a no-brainer. It's an offer you would have to be clinically insane to say no to. So let's look at a few examples now. So top one here, right? Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza is actually one of my favorite stories to tell. I might tell this in an email at some point, but I'll say it to you here as well. Domino's Pizza in the 1970s, 1980s, I'm going to say, they were on the brink of going bankrupt. And it wasn't until, because again, right, so they was on the brink of going bankrupt, okay, because they were competing on price. I don't think Pizza Hut were around back then, maybe they were, but they were competing with other pizzerias and they were doing the same shtick, right? Lowest prices, freshest ingredients, best dough, best tomato sauce, doing all of that stuff, right? They were shouting all of that, which was like, okay, cool, whatever. And they were ready to file for bankruptcy until they ran this special promotion, which was fresh hot pizza delivered to your door in under 30 minutes or it's free. Guaranteed. If you don't get a pizza from Domino's in 30 minutes, you don't pay for it. Now look at where Domino's are. You can't go more than 2 miles without seeing a Domino's pizzeria chain. For like Man United fans, they're everywhere, right? You can't go anywhere without seeing one. That's the power of having a big, hairy, and audacious offer. It can literally bring you back from the brink of bankruptcy because you're willing to make your market this offer, this big, hairy, and audacious offer, which basically, again, stands there, chest out, nice and proud, shoulders back, and commands the attention with such confidence and awe that they can deliver on that promise and they can get you the result you're wanting, which in this case is fresh hot pizza delivered quick. Another offer, which is one that we have for our email marketing service, pay once and only when you get a customer. Another example, 12-week body transformation. This is for a PT. And again, win an all-inclusive trip to Bali. Fantastic offer. You'd have to be insane to refuse that because again, thinking about it from a weight loss perspective, when you lose weight, what do you want to do? You want to show off your figure. You want to show it off on a beach. You want to pose for the gram, show off your abs. You know what I mean? You want to go and do that stuff. So it's a fantastic offer. FedEx had this next one until Amazon could do it on a much wider scale, like later on in time, when it absolutely positively has to be there overnight. Brands like UPS, for instance, and I think like DPD, for instance, if they were around at that time, I think they were stood there like, God, good sake. Like, what are they doing, man? Like, why FedEx promising that? We can't compete with that. Do you mean all of our customers are going there because they're promising next day delivery? Like, we're promising like 2, 3, 4 days at max. We can't compete with them. And that's how powerful having a big, hairy, and audacious offer is. Again, take a shot. I'm going to say this all the time during this training. A mattress, just for example, get America's best rated mattress delivered to your door and enjoy a 100-night free trial. If you're an e-commerce brand selling mattresses and you're going up against that business, you're screwed. Because if all you can compete on is, well, this mattress here will cost you $300 or £300, yeah, but this brand over here, mate, I can get America's best rated mattress delivered to my door for free and enjoy 100 nights free on them. So would I rather keep my $500 or my $1,000, how much this mattress is worth, and keep it for the next 100 days to make sure that I really like this mattress? Or would I rather take the initial gamble by giving you my money and hoping that this mattress is what I think it is? You see the difference there? Here's another one. Let's say, for instance, you have an information business and you're helping chiropractors. Add 10 to 20 new patients to your practice in 60 days or double your money back. What an insane offer that is. So what you're saying is, if I don't get at least 10 to 20 new patients, which that itself is probably worth about 50, 60, 70K a month to me, or whatever it is, in 60 days, I'll get double my money back. you could charge whatever you wanted for that. You could charge 10K, 15K, 20K for that program, and it would sell like hotcakes regardless, because if worst case scenario, they don't get clients, a new customer, new revenue, they get double their money back. So they will literally throw money at you regardless of however much you charge for it, because that is a big, hairy, and audacious offer. A digital product, pay what you think it's worth. Say for instance, you were doing like a digital marketing course, or you're just selling a course in general. Instead of doing what most other people do, charging $997 for it, just go, hey, look, here's a PayPal link. If you get value from it, pay me. If you don't get value from it, keep your credit card in your wallet. Here's another one. An e-com offer, for instance, would be free plus shipping. Hey, try free today for 90 days, or say, for instance, like if it's skincare, a 7-day free sample bag, just cover shipping. I want to give you this sample bag of our product for free, just cover shipping. That's literally it, right? You're getting your product in their hands. They're going to use it for 7 days, go, oh my God, this is fantastic. At the end of those 7 days, you send out like an email chain, which basically goes, hey, did you love it? Go to our store now. Here's 15% off your first order. Easy money, easy, easy, easy money. We are coming to the end of this presentation, don't worry. And I do want to kind of address something. So no doubt in my mind that you're probably watching this and you're thinking to yourself, that's great, Nick, but my business is different. I can't say to my customers, if this isn't the greatest meat you've ever eaten, I'll give you your money back. I can't say to my customers, if this isn't the greatest lingerie you've ever wore, I'll give you your money back. I can't say those things. I can't say to my customer, if your baby doesn't love this toy, I'll give you your money back. I can't make a big promise like that to my customer, to my marketplace. I simply can't do that. To which, if that is your attitude towards it, I want to share with you again my favorite quote by Henry Ford, which is, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. You're right. Somebody else will do that though, and they'll take the market share, and they'll take your customers, they'll take your clients. And again, entrepreneurship isn't a participation sport. There's no medal at the end for coming 8th. And I will say this to you, if you were confident with what you were selling, why wouldn't you make it as easy as possible for as many people as possible to buy your product or service? To do otherwise just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why would you not make them an offer they'd be stupid to say no to? Because if you were really confident that your product, which is the reason you got into business to begin with, right? To help people, hopefully. If you weren't confident that your product could take somebody from pain towards pleasure, why should they be confident that you can do that if you aren't yourself? Having a big, hairy, and audacious offer, like I've said numerous times during this presentation, it just oozes confidence. It makes your prospect understand that you ain't screwing around here, and you're saying it confidently. You're not doing it loosey-goosey like most businesses do, where they're a little bit coy, for instance. You're blatantly saying, with your chest out, strong and proud, shoulders back, standing, staring at your customer straight in the eyes with a firm handshake and grip, saying, I will get you the results that you are after. If you hire my product or hire my service, we will get the job done for you. We will take you from pain towards pleasure. Again, entrepreneurship isn't a spectator sport. Equally as well, like we've just kind of established with the kind of domino story as well, a powerful offer can literally triple sales. And the guarantees that you have as part of that offer, for instance, if the guarantee is the thing that's kind of making you go, I don't want to do that, the guarantee that you kind of have as part of your offer very rarely gets called upon. In fact, it only gets called upon 5% of the time. 5% of the time. So if you do the math, would you rather have 5% potential loss but 95% earnings, or just not have that at all and scrap a guarantee? You tell me if that's worth it or not. If you don't think that's a very well calculated play to use, then don't do it in your business. All I can say to you is having a guarantee and making your product as easy as possible for as many people as possible to buy it and use it makes all the sense in the world to me. To do otherwise doesn't. Okay, so to answer that question that's been burning on your lips since probably about halfway through this presentation, which is, that's great, Nick, but how do you do it? How do you make an offer so good people literally feel stupid saying no? Well, I got this idea from Eminem's song Lose Yourself. And in that song, in the first 10 seconds, he says, if you had one shot, one opportunity to capture everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it? or would you just let it slip? I said at the start of this presentation that your offer is 80% of your business. I also said that your offer is the first and last, in some cases, impression that somebody will have with your business. So I'm going to say this to you. If you had one shot, one opportunity to capture a customer, would you do it? Or would you just let them slip? Would you just let them go to your competitors? What can you add to your current offering to make it more valuable? What can you tack on to your current offer to articulate its value more, to make sure that you are marketing in a vacuum and you're making your product and your business and your service a hell yes to your customers? What can you do? What can you add to it? Again, use our personal trainer friend here as an example. Look at what they're offering compared to the other person. That's what you want to articulate to your market. So for an e-com business, for instance, it could just be something as simple as subscribe and save 15% or subscribe and save 20%. It could just be something as simple as buy two, get one free, buy free, get two free, for instance. As an information business, again, very similar to our PT here, it could be on top of this core offer, which I'm going to charge you $1,000 for, you get A, B, C, D, E, F, G in bonuses with their individual price points attached to them. That's how you make a big, hairy, and audacious offer. You add more and more value to what it is you are offering your customer compared to your competitors, because they're competing on price. You won't be. By the end of this, you should be competing on value. That's it. We've covered it. We've done your offer. Hopefully by the end of this presentation, you now understand what you need to do in order to make big, hairy, and audacious offers. I did say to you, this is the biggest domino. Now that we've pushed this over, it's just a simple case of just applying the right traffic and applying the right strategy to it, and then just watching that cash register ring. Thank you so much again for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.